Trooper Jay Thomas tells me just because there's been an arrest doesn't mean the investigation is over. KSP pulled into the Callaway County Jail with Pascasio Pacheco Arellano just after 2:30 today. His charges include first-degree arson and 4 counts of murder. To get to the site, you have to drive about 10 to 15 minutes on a very bumpy, windy road. Then you're met by police lights that are blocking the area as crews work to recover the plane. By having a watchman live here, he can look out for middle school and elementary school students staying late at events or coming back from sports. The other reason, annexation. Candidates Melanie Chambers and Kevin Neal both want to spread a message of thanks to voters who came out today. Now that the polls are closed, it's time to count the ballots inside the Marshall County Courthouse. Around this corner is the intersection of Kentucky 80 and 641 heading into Murray. Right here, the speed limit will change back down to 55. Because of the busy area. This repaired road and new drainage ditch is the result of answered concerns from supporters of LBL. The goal is for kids to be active at least 1 hour a day to improve strength, endurance, and flexibility. But the people who live around here have to speak up, and there's a good chance they could. I spoke to several people in the neighborhood, and they tell me they've seen plenty of crashes, and the data backs them up. One light, the only source of guidance for one 7-year-old girl.
Legs and all scratched up, arms scratched up, bloody nose, crying, and she said her mom and dad were dead.
Larry Wilkins answered his door to find the only survivor of a plane crash that killed 4 members of her family.
Nobody heard the plane. That's what was amazing to me. Couldn't see it, couldn't hear it, and hell, I didn't find it for 2.5, 3 hours. About 6:30 last night, Kentucky State Police started searching through the woods in the rain for a small plane south of Catawba. The plane had been flying from Florida to Mount Vernon, Illinois.
But it is in one piece. It's recognizable as an aircraft. It's just upside down.
Its passengers, Kim and Marty Gutzler, their 2 daughters, and 14-year-old niece. 7-year-old Sailor Gutzler was the only survivor.
We're talking about a 7-year-old girl who basically fell out of the sky into a very dark and lonely place.
Through heavy brush piles full of thorns, Wilkins says the 7-year-old girl walked through this thick wooded area in complete darkness to try to find some help.
Barefooted. She had 1 sock and dressed for Florida. She had on short pants and a light shirt.
Wilkins comforted Sailor, staying by her side until EMS arrived.
She wanted me to go with her. They wouldn't let me go. Tough kid.
There's something about hearing your food coming.
Oh, cool.
Before seeing it.
Here comes our friend, Justin.
At Choo Ollie's, this up-close dining experience
Thank you very much.
is a first for the state, recently pulling into town a block away from Princeton's historic downtown. Owner Kevin Oliver grew up loving locomotives.
Ollie is a nickname I have at the railroad, and I work for the CSX full-time.
So when this railroad museum went up for auction 3 years ago, he had to bid.
I wanted to save the museum.
Taking his hobby to a whole new level.
I had to totally remodel this building from the floor to the ceiling.
He made just about everything in this place. But this project, packed with train memorabilia, didn't come easy.
He had to put this up like 3 times where the train goes around because it kept derailing on every corner.
Kevin's mother, Patsy, says the effort and cost overwhelmed him this time last year. So for Christmas, she gave him this as a symbol for what his restaurant could become.
It's the fantasy that this will be for children when they come in.
A place to eat and have fun that the town's mayor hopes will have people hopping on board.
He's going to draw people here, and then they'll visit, we hope, all the other businesses.
Built from an idea that may become a first-class attraction. State and local agencies have been searching for the past 8 hours for any sign of the family's yellow boat or the missing 2-year-old and his grandmother. Right now, there aren't any boats on the water because they're taking a break, but the McCracken County Rescue Squad will be here soon to search until dark. They're the faces of 2 children torn away from their mother. A family of 6 set out Friday night onto the Ohio River in a fiberglass yellow boat about 14 feet long.
We have not found any evidence of a boat.
It was dark when the boat capsized here at Dam 52 in Brookport, Illinois. McCracken County Emergency Management Director Jerome Mansfield says there's a warning sign about the dam, but at night, the dam itself can be difficult to see.
That type of facility can have a very treacherous and powerful current that can cause a tremendous pull on a boat going through.
Of the 6, 2 are still missing. 2-year-old Xavier Lopez and his grandmother, Tina Rodriguez. 2 others didn't make it. 4-year-old Emma Strasser and her step-grandfather, Frank Rosario. 2 others, Amber McIntosh and Maria Rodriguez, survived. They were pulled from the water by 2 Army Corps of Engineer employees. The mother of Emma and Xavier, Amber McIntosh, says they've been out on the boat several times before, and this was supposed to be another family outing. However, they'd never been this far down the Ohio River before.
The current in the river can be deceptive. It can be much swifter and deadlier than it appears on the surface.
Which is why divers didn't go into the water, but Mansfield says that doesn't mean they still can't keep searching on the surface.
This particular case, we haven't found the positive, and I don't suspect we will. This is just so tragic. Some things are unspeakable.
Thomas Wayne McCroy is accused of killing his parents, Larry and Roxanne McCroy. Found along the Mississippi River near the Hickman-Dorena Ferry on the Missouri side. Minor Police Chief Chris Griggs says another son who lives in St. Louis reported his parents missing Tuesday morning.
He called us concerned. He hadn't talked to his mom in a couple of days. Turned out the last time someone actually talked to Roxanne was 7:30 on Monday evening.
That led police to check on the parents at their home. The suspect answered the door and was cooperative, letting them inside. But when police returned a little later, the suspect was gone. Law enforcement later found and took McCroy into custody in Carter County Tuesday night.
There's so many tragic events that happened here. Not only the passing of Mr. McCroy, another son has lost his parents.
Chief describes the 2 as retired, well known, as well as liked in the community. It's a moment a lot of teens dream about, getting the chance to dress up for that one special night. Adam Stanley is a freshman who's already going to prom. His mom, Lana Dockery, helps him with the final touches.
His date asked me if it would be okay, and I wasn't, sure she was serious at first, but she said, I'm serious.
Adam has Down syndrome. In another room, 11th grader Alexis Courtney gets ready for her date.
He's just goofy. He's always happy. And even when he's not happy, when I walk in the room, he usually always smiles.
She's nervous.
I was hoping he didn't want to change his mind about going to prom with me.
But excited.
I think it'll be fun.
For that moment when she pulls up to her date. She's asked Adam to go with her.
Cute.
Alexis is in a peer tutoring program at school with him. And the 2 can't contain their excitement about going together. With Adam's mom being able to capture that memory of the 2 before their enchanted evening. In Paducah, Juliana Valencia, WPSD, Local 6.
Thank you.
This cup of joe is on the house. A lot of strangers are saying thanks to Larry Wilkins.
Once in a lifetime experience for me, and God, I hope it don't ever happen again.
A tragic experience, opening his door to a bloodied and bruised 7-year-old girl asking for help. Sailor Gutzler lived through a plane crash that killed 4 family members in the woods near Wilkins' home.
Her struggle just now beginning.
He says all he did was open a door, but since he's opened it, gratitude's been pouring in.
I've done nothing to deserve anything like that,
Letters from across the country.
That one's from Pennsylvania. This one's from a little lady in Connecticut, 93 years old. Says she got 9 children.
Someone from Indiana sent him a $200 gift card to this restaurant. Even his 2 dogs, Bonnie and Pete, are getting attention. A man in Arizona started a chain email to send them treats for being heroes. Their barks got Wilkins to the door.
Do you think that what she'd been through, scared that she'd have pounded on that door like a madman, that you barely knocked?
It's the pups that helped Sailor feel safe.
Both of them went right to her. She said that was a real comfort.
A feeling he hopes Sailor doesn't forget, because he'll never forget her. In Lyon County, Juliana Valencia, WPST Local 6.